Bob Huggins, the Hall of Fame coach. Paul, what happened?
He was on a Cincinnati radio station today, and he uttered a homophobic slur twice, actually. And here is his apology for that. Earlier today, on a Cincinnati radio program, I was asked about the rivalry between my former employer, the University of Cincinnati, and its crosstown rival, Xavier University. During the conversation, I used a completely insensitive and abhorrent phrase that there is simply no excuse for, and I won't try to make one here. I deeply apologize to the individuals I have offended, as well as to the Xavier University community, the University of Cincinnati, and West Virginia University, as I have shared with my players over my 40 years of coaching. There are consequences for our words and actions, and I will fully accept any coming my way. I'm ashamed and embarrassed and heartbroken for those I have hurt. I must do better, and I will do better. The host is not going to be in any less hot water either.
Bill Cunningham is his name.
Bill Cunningham.
That sounds familiar, and apparently he's a big deal out in that area. I don't know. I just don't personally know.
John Cunningham is the AD, right?
Yeah.
I'm not saying there's a relation. That's where I heard the Cunningham. So Judson, there's some comments on the chat room about the being overly offended, and you just can't say certain things. Now, Huggins is a rock star. He's a Hall of Famer, but we've seen this before where no matter who you are, and especially, man, this all depends on the wave of how social media reacts. Not that it's the judge and jury. I love Bob Huggins, but what he did was stupid. What he said was stupid.
Yeah, you can argue semantics over the level you should be offended or something, although it's to each their own. I'm not going to tell anybody how offended they should or shouldn't be over something, but if you just read what he said, the one takeaway that I have more than anything is how incredibly bleeping stupid was that.
Yeah.
What did he think he was doing? A non-public interview or just having a regular conversation with his buddy and thought he could just say whatever? And just an incredibly dumb thing to say and really reinforce. He doubled it up. He was talking about, he's talking about Xavier fans and said a word that's a homophobic slur and brought up Catholics as well, and he just said some stupid stuff, and I don't know what he was possibly thinking. And obviously the schools felt like they needed to issue a statement. And I've seen, when we were talking earlier, all of the the usual grouping of national reporters that caught on and we're all discussing, and that's when I first kind of caught wind of it. But yeah, not a good look. The audio's all over the place now, so you can go and listen for yourself, but just incredibly stupid thing to say for Bob Huggins, and I don't know what this means for him moving forward, but just a terrible decision.
Yeah, we've seen how these end usually. The only thing I have about apologies is that hold on, is that it seems like we pick and choose which apologies we accept. We critique apologies. There are people who have been able to have said things that are stupid and racially insensitive, and yet they survive, and then there's some that say it and they're gone. They're done. And so I wish we could kind of come to a consensus here on what and how you handle this, but I got a feeling that Bob Huggins' days, I hope, I don't know what's going to happen here, but if you kind of go through the ups and downs most people think he's gone.
Well, it's not really what he says, it's what he does. In after it that makes the apology sincere. Anybody can say they're sorry. It's how do you approach that later on? That I don't know how Bob Huggins does that, and that's only for Bob Huggins to do. He was very, very much too comfortable. I've seen that phrase used on the chat room. That's way too comfortable.
He was talking with his buddy and didn't think they were on the radio.
Yeah, that was how that all went down, and it's just not something you can do, and you have to, you can, each person is going to be offended to their level, but the thing you have to think about when you're going on the air in a public forum is, what you say is taken different by everybody, so the goal should always be just to make sure that you're not going to hurt somebody. Things happen on accident. Things happen for different reasons. But, yeah, he was way too comfortable.
Gregory Krug, I think it's a horrible look, but I do not know if he should be fired over this. If someone working retail said that, they would be fired. If a multi-million-dollar coach says it, oh well. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how this works out. Golly, here we are.